Good afternoon, everybody. So right now, I'm going to demonstrate probably one of the best Tier 5 planes out there. It's new with the Skies of Albion patch in World of Warplanes 2.0. And this multi-role fighter is just the predecessor to the Tier 6 Tornado, which comes right after it in the line. Another beautiful aircraft. It's basically a Hurricane 2, just slightly better. But where the Hurricane 2 definitely comes to shine is the fact that it is a Tier 5, and you're sitting here with 420s at Tier 5. The only other aircraft that has this kind of firepower would be like the Beaufighter, which is a heavy fighter, and the SC-100, which is a heavy fighter. As you see, this is a multi-role, so you get 4 rockets, and you have 420s. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the guns. The guns before this is the 12-303s. Those are fun, very fun guns, but very inaccurate. These guns here just shred things. They really do. My best game, I believe in this thing, I had a 27k combat point game. Like 25 aircraft killed. It's a beautiful, beautiful plane. Let's go ahead and take this thing out for a spin. I'm going to show you what it can do. And basically just give you an informed decision whether you want to grind down this line when it becomes available. After the Skies of Albion event, right now you could only acquire this plane through the loot boxes. Sometimes you'll get a mission for them, which is how I acquired this plane. But definitely once this line's available, if you don't have it, I would recommend getting it. It is a super, super strong firepower. With those 420s at tier, you're going to literally just make planes disappear all around you. And it's no slouch in the turning department. It's not the best maneuverable, but as with most multi-role fighters, they aren't. This thing just has enough firepower to just devastate anything. And if they are coming head on with you, they're usually going to be killed. And if they survive it, they're usually very wounded unless you magically missed all your shots, which no harm, no harm, no foul if that happens. But you could usually turn back on them and put those guns right back on the target and just eliminate them. So right now the event is the Skies of Albion event. So I would like to use this opportunity to demonstrate this plane's capabilities. Most likely it's going to end up in a superiority if we face an all-bot team. But we'll see what I can do in that time and see if this is the plane for you. So it says right here, average time in queue is 119. We got in at 117. That's pretty cool. I like when we're better than average. This thing is a lot better than average. We'll say this thing is great. It's definitely a great plane. My two favorite planes at this tier are this plane and the Tier 5 SC-100. Again, it has the same firepower. It's just a heavy. So now I'm going to be facing some higher tier things. We got a Focke-Wulf 190 A5, which is an impressive plane for its tier. It's got a lot of firepower. Similar turn as this aircraft. And an ME-410 Heavy, which is nothing to slouch at either. So let's go ahead, press on. Looks like we're going to have the typical 2 airfields, 3 garrisons. Most people sit at the middle.
Show me what you can do, pilot. Let's roll.
Alright, let's push in. Got some boomerangs defending this. But as I mentioned, you have rockets. So let's go ahead and get on this boomerang here. Just look at that firepower. Like, this thing, you get behind someone, they're gonna just disappear. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Alright, so as you saw there, got behind that boomerang as he turned. In that approach, took him down a good 30% of his health. And then by the time he was turned around, as soon as you get on him, they're going to just die. So here we're coming across 2 Beaufighters. They're facing the opposite direction as me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this boomerang right here first. And just look at that. you can't really beat that kind of firepower at this tier. It does its job, that's for sure. So now we have Boomerang trying to get Froggy with me. I'm going to go ahead and turn on him and just give you a close-up of his destruction. So there he goes. Quite the aircraft. We capped this, so now I can turn around and demonstrate what this will do to ground pounders. So you do have rockets, so if you were ever taking on a ground pounder from behind, you can get behind him, rocket him to death. But in this case where he's kind of off to the side of me, I'm going to just sit here, use my firepower, and just make him disappear. My gun's overheated there, which happens quite often actually. So you want to kind of take controlled burst, get in there, fire, let it cool down. But for this guy, let's go ahead and line up behind him and use your rockets. There's a demonstration of the rockets on this thing. That was a Rocketeer kill right there, and I just got rammed by my team. It's always fun. We have a bomber up high. This thing is not an altitude player, so we must have a multi-roll coming in, who again is up high. It's probably the 190A5. No, it's a JU-88. It's a bomber, my mistake. I have a heavy coming in right now. What do we got here? It is a BF-110. It's not a bad aircraft. It's the BF-110E. It's definitely faster than me, but he wants to come fight, so let's let him. If he turns back around. Actually, we have these guys here. Let me get behind them, show you what you can do when you get behind a heavy. And again, controlled burst, just enough, start overheating, and then stop. And you'll take out your target 9 times out of 10. So here's that, another 110 below us, or the 410, sorry, this is the tier 6. Something just whacked me pretty hard, must be another fighter. Alright, my rockets are already back up. I don't know if you saw that, it's a quick reload. Alright, so this fighter, come back in, put rounds on target, and they disappear. Now that heavy is kind of angry at me, and my wing is destroyed. So all turning just went out the window in this thing. It's quite okay. These guys don't turn either. So I'll turn around, get on this JU-87, see if we can line up another rocket kill. Well, we have to. There's another rocket kill. So that would have been good enough to take that guy out from full health, but I like to shoot him as well, rack up those points, rack up that damage, and just kind of, you know, play this plane to its strengths. There's that ME-410 that ruined my day, taking out my wing. So let's go ahead and follow him up, and you'll see this thing is not the best of a climber, but it is enough to loiter there and just enough to get rounds on target. So I'm smoking pretty bad here. I'm all shot up. My wing is half missing. My tail's shot up. I'm still able to maneuver and do my job when it comes to fighting these aircraft. Rockets are already almost reloaded. And here comes the 190A1, Tier 5 Focke-Wulf 190. You don't go head on with this thing. But unfortunately, there's a lot of aircraft here. I've got a heavy coming down on my tail right now. Probably shouldn't have turned on this KI, but you only live once. Just missed my rockets on that A5. Kind of gonna give him hell. I've got so much on my tail. I don't see me living through this. That's okay. That was funny.
The airfields are ours.
We got both airfields, so I'll go ahead and respawn at an airfield. And I've got a decent score right now, 7,200, and pushing in. I like that this team is, if you look, no players are going to the enemy cap yet. That's awesome. Gives you enough time to play around and actually enjoy this aircraft. It's definitely one worth grinding. It's got about a 45-second reload on those rockets, and here we go. A5's coming at my face, and you know he's tier 6. Well, I've got tier 6 guns, and that one rammed me. Ouch. Maybe I rammed him. Depends on who's counting. Put some rounds into targets of these guys in their rears. Take out this A1 real quick. At A5 just turned to me. Here he comes.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will
Just
be
enough to
unable
put
to
rounds
reach
on
you.
target.
Do you read me? Over.
Below me. Oh, he's
Keep it
dead.
up. Victory is almost ours.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's a very impressive plane to play. They just took the center, which is awesome, because now I got some bow fighters to shoot. I didn't really get to demonstrate how this performs versus an allied heavy, but here you go. And again, you're slow. You're not a fast plane by any means, but man, when things let you get on their tail, they just kind of disappear. Again, kind of tore up right now from AA, but it's enough to damage some stuff, and we took that back.
You any longer. The storm is too heavy.
So right now,
Do you copy? Over.
everything's kind of spread out. That's a heavy that just disappeared, and over here is probably the bomber. Oh, that's a bug. It's actually not a heavy over there. This game's about to end. Sitting at 8,800 score. So not bad at all. Hopefully I've demonstrated to you the capabilities of this aircraft and given you a reason to maybe grind down this line and purchase it. So here comes the bot Focke-Wulf 190A1. Looks like they're playing with one of our planes who's in their cap right now. This game is going to be over before I get there, as you are in a fast plane. But definitely, when things are around you,
I'm proud of you
can do
pilot.
work.
Head back
So
home.
I captured number 1 with 9860. It's kind of an average game for this thing, to be honest with you. But it's just an all-around fun plane to play. Throw that universal ammo in, use those 20s. Those rockets, I got to demonstrate twice why having rockets is really fun in this game. It's enough to wipe out any ground attacker without putting a single bullet in them if you want to use just your rockets. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, once this event ends and this becomes part of the normal line to grind, take a minute and just go down this line. The Hurricane before it has the 8303s, which is a good, not bad, and the Tornado after it has those 420s that this thing has. They're the same guns, but the Tornadoes perform slightly better. Made about 54k credits, not too bad in an average game in this plane, and about 7,500 experience in a ×3. So, if you're ever wondering if you should pick up the Hurricane, hopefully this convinced you. I wish I could have shown you the 27k game, but I was not recording YouTube videos at that time. Anyways, if you liked this video and it helped you make a decision on if you want to go down this line, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And thank you for watching.